This is Mistress Juliya, and I want you to put your fucking horns up.
What's up, Brock? Social here at Urban Plus. I'm here with a really good friend of mine and a badass metal lady, Mistress Juliya. It's the Uranium tour. It's so fucking awesome to have you back. You never went anywhere, but it's Uranium, your fucking baby.
Uranium, always has been my baby. On TV, it was my little baby. It went away, and then I got the opportunity to work with Live Nation on putting together the Uranium tour, which, when people hear Uranium brand, they know that they're gonna get heavy quality fucking music. Whether it's hard rock, heavy metal, death metal, black metal, we're gonna bring it to you the right way. So we worked really hard on putting together a package that had an amazing headliner that has always represented the Uranium brand. Black Label Society has been a staple on the Uranium TV show for many, many years, and of course it's Zakk Wylde. It really doesn't get more real, more metal in the classic way possible. And then the other bands that we have on kind of encompass a bunch of different genres. We have like the rock band, we have like the industrial band, we have the rock metal thing. So we have a nice eclectic mix for the viewers. And I'm really hoping to make this a yearly thing, where bands could showcase. And my ideal goal is to have baby bands, unsigned acts, opening for free without having to buy on. If this one goes really well, we go into year 2, that is the dream.
We gotta sold that show, and I know this means a lot to you because this is New York City. You're a Brooklyn girl.
I'm a Brooklyn girl, and you know what it is? I live a little bit of a mellower lifestyle now. I don't go to the bar every night. I'm not in the scene, and I think people forget. So this is a fucking reminder. I've never went anywhere. No matter what I do as my career, this is my love. This is my passion. Heavy metal music is what I fucking live and breathe for, and this is the result of that, and there will be more to come.
So let me ask you, how hands-on were you with this tour package? I mean, obviously you said Black Label, good friends with you, and represent your brand and what you represent.
Yeah.
But how, as far as the whole booking and take us into a little bit of the behind the scenes, because this takes at least 6 months to plan a tour like this.
I had a hand in the headliner, so they couldn't pick a headliner without my confirmation because I'm representing the Uranium brand. I have the license. I couldn't have a band that was poorly representing the Uranium brand, especially first year in the tour. We couldn't make a fucking mistake like that. We needed people to know that Mistress Juliya bringing back Uranium means you're gonna get the badass, the heavy, the rock and roll. Now, all the supporting bands were picked out by Live Nation and put together later. We picked out the original lineup, which was Black Label Society, All That Remains. All That Remains had to go to Europe a few days ago. We got Rev Theory, which I also had a part in picking out. They're a really great band that do that heavy metal, hard rock, fusion kind of vibe. They're amazing live acts. And the other 2 bands, Our Cast and Anchored, were picked out by Live Nation, but also picked out in a way where we could have that eclectic mix. But I do have the last word with the headliner, because it's very important not to misrepresent the Uranium brand that everybody's familiar with and expect a certain amount of quality from.
If we rewind time a little bit, when you started Uranium, because obviously, for every headbanger out there, everybody has seen it. Everybody got familiar with you because it was honest, it was raw, it was unscripted, which is something that for me has been a huge. I've always told you this. I look up to you and admire what you do, and I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for people like you, because we gotta inspire each other. So if we go back a little bit in time, when you first came up with a concept, obviously your first idea was to present the bands in a raw and uncompromised style, because that's heavy metal.
Well, what had happened was, at the time that at the time Fuse was still Much Music USA, it was a baby station. They saw that I was getting a huge response online from metal fans because I was talking about metal. So they were kind of here's a budget, figure out a show. What the key was, at that time, the little digital cameras had just come out. This was 10 years ago. They just came out, the little flip camera things. So we were like, wouldn't it be cool if we did a fan's point of view? So you got your big cameras over here, and then you got my little fucking camera where I'm like, oh my
your
God,
face.
this is my eyeballs over here, my eyeballs over here. And people really connected to that because it wasn't like this polished, overproduced studio piece. It was like, this isn't editing, here it is, this is real. I think that connection to the fans is what made Uranium popular. They realized that I myself was a fan. Whether you like me or you don't like me, it doesn't matter. I'm sure you could understand that I clearly am a heavy metal fan. I started this at 19. I've been listening to metal since I was 12. And I think that little camera really allowed me to convey the fact that this is like, you know what I mean? And that's really how Uranium was born. And also I think, there was, Headbangers wasn't around for so many years. Heavy metal really needed a voice, and I was also a female, which brought a lot of controversy. People love to talk shit, or they love to love me. Either way, they wanted to see that metal, and that's what it's all about. I don't care how you feel about me. I want you to tune in. I want you to watch the metal. I want you to fucking buy that album. Since the show's gotten canceled, I've gotten so many sad complaints from fans and their kids now. It's been that long. And so bringing back the Uranium tour, because Uranium TV show probably will never happen again. It had its time. I was at a certain age. It was a new and exciting moment. But bringing back this tour is kind of like my life dream to continue the legacy of a brand that brought back the metal. And so it's once again like my excitement is reborn, and going on stage and introducing these bands, I feel like a fan every time. I feel like I gotta take a freaking poop every time I go out there because I get nervous, because it's important to me that people fucking dig it, that they get it. Like, we need to appreciate, we need to stand together. We can't be jaded and be like, oh yeah, I heard. No, motherfuckers, come to the show, raise up your metal horns. We're here to love the music. Ain't no competition here, So
metal is all about the passion. And you said before, you started listening to metal when you were 12 years old. And I mean, he's obviously from Brooklyn, as we fucking said before. And Typo Negative, Life of Agony. And I know all these bands, I'm sure you were not just like hearing, but you will see them on the bar and this and this and that.
Course.
And how did that shape up you as, a TV personality, a music fan, all that, everything you do?
Well, the metal scene in Brooklyn is a lot more raw and intense. It's less image and more of like dry sense of humor, dark sense of humor. I grew up on Life of Agony and Typo Negative. I grew up on Life of Agony, Typo Negative, Danzig, Metallica, and Megadeth. But Brooklyn was like, when River Runs Red came out, I believe, in high school, and we read the lyrics and we were like, oh my fucking God, this is the anthem of our youth. This is us. This is Brooklyn. This is raw. This is truth. This is fact. Growing up in Brooklyn with those guys, and yes, you're absolutely correct. I've been friends with Keith Caputo since I was 15. Peter and I became friends when I was 20. He hung out at my house all the time. The way it shaped me was like, there's no time for bullshit. You know what I mean? You bring it raw, you bring it loud, and you bring the truth. Because if people don't want to hear the truth, at least they'll be intrigued that you got the fucking balls to speak it. So whether I don't like something that you like, I don't give a shit. I'm going to tell you honest, and you're going to respect my honesty. And that's what Brooklyn is all about. That's what the Brooklyn rock and roll and metal scene is all about. It's not giving a fuck about your image. It's being funny, it's being angry, and not caring about how you feel about it.
That sums it up. I want to thank Work from Does Brooklyn crew. Jimmy's in the house. We got everyone in the house.
Doing photos.
It's a family reunion. I love this.
Dude, this is amazing. And thank you. Joe, we met before you started this show, and I'm so excited to see how well you've done. You are a really great guy. You really love the metal, and you're a respectful, awesome individual, and you give props where props are due. You don't forget, and you carry the fucking torch for us. And I feel like your show is like the new Uranium. So it makes me really excited. So I'm honored for you to have me. Thank you for carrying on our metal legacy in New York City. Love you, man.
And we're gonna go fucking check out Black Label in 20
Black
minutes.
Label Society!
Yeah.